Hey guys, it's Rush. Today I have a great game for you. This is taken from my live stream the other day. I was in my Super Pershing based on a viewer request. And at the time of this video, I actually had basically forgotten that this tank existed. I hadn't played the Super Pershing in forever because I'd been busy playing things like a Scorpion G, Object 277, and so on. And so this thing was very new to me considering I haven't played it since my last Super Pershing video. So for this one, we're on the map Mines. Now, I have a tendency to pause replays, so if you don't like hearing about in-depth strategy, this video won't be for you. That being said, if you do like strategy, that's what this video is going to be about. So we're in the Mines Encounter. Now, Mines Encounter is hands down the worst map you can find yourself on. So what I try to do if I'm in something that's slow, and obviously I know that the Super Pershing is slow going into this, is I try to put myself in the center of the map. Kind of on Encounter, you want to be near the cap, but you don't necessarily have to go to the cap. By going to the hill on Mines Encounter, you put yourself in the fight, and as a slow tank, you need to drive towards where the enemies are going to be. So by going to the middle of the map, what I expect to do is I expect to get early shots maybe on people going into the hill. And you can see, I get a free shot into an EBR, but most of their team doesn't go hill, and most of our, basically every single light tank we ever had went hill. So what I decide to do is I'm like, okay, we've won the hill, we have no one to the cap circle. Let's take this slow piece of shit and bring it all the way to the cap circle, because we're not going to get fights on the 9 line. No, we're not going to get fights in the middle of the map. What happens in the middle of the map, I'm going to pause it, forgive me. What happens here is if you try to play the mid right here, like let's say you're the average person trying to get shots in this P43, this bad shot, this EBR, you're going to find that you're never able to shoot them because all they have to do is fall back to where this 45 TP is, and then you're fighting TDs like this Achilles. They have free shots in you. So it never works to fight the middle of this map once they've gone into a defensive position, and so it's a lot better for me to come over to the cap circle side to try to find enemies. Now, I find myself with an M41D right in front of me, so I'm going to try to go for a shot into him. That was a really bad shot and missed, of course, because it was a bad shot, and I decide against what most, like this would be a bad play, according to most people. I decide to push in. Now, this is inevitably going to put me in a crossfire. I'm going to pause it again. But if you see what's happening here, there's an M41D to my right, and there's a M41D to my left, and a BP to my right. Now, you would expect that one of these tanks is not alone. I could see the M41D being alone. He's a very fast tier 8, and a lot of their fast tanks got spotted going mid. But this Black Prince, it would be very surprising if there's literally no one with him. And so by pushing in, I put myself between 2 tanks, presumably, maybe 3, and 1 tank, and that's a tier 8 light with a really good gun. Now, most people would say this is a bad play, because what's going to happen here is I'm putting myself in a crossfire. I'm going to say that this is not really a crossfire. First of all, our team has the hill. So if you're interested in the strategy or the way of this map works, what you'll find is that if you get up to where I am, people like this M41D don't have shots in you. They have to leave their position to get shots in you. And if they do that, they get wrecked by anyone on the hill. And so because we control the hill, and because I've got, you know, a tank here who might eventually help out and so on and so forth, this is a safe play. We've got solid cover between ourselves and the M41. We're not in a crossfire. I can deal with this Black Prince alone. Now, for me to deal with this Black Prince gives you a whole host of issues. First of all, there's almost always TDs sitting back here. And you're going to see that's not going to be an issue in this replay. But normally if I poke on this BP, you'd have to assume someone's in this bush shooting at you, because if you don't assume that, you're going to get wrecked. So I poke on the BP. These are easy shots. Put into his lower plate. He wasn't even paying attention. He was looking at the hill, and he bounces a shot off of mine. Now this thing's armor, against tier 7s, there's zero thought required. You don't have to angle or anything, especially if they're bad players and don't know to aim for your weak spots. And this Black Prince is not experienced enough to know how to pen my tank, unless I give him my side. So you can see, here I am. The Black Prince was not alone. There was a 45 TP with him, but like once again, these are tier 7 tanks. I can deal with them. And the Black Prince has no capacity to pen me because it's just a Black Prince. There's nothing he can do. Now, 45 TP is here. We're going to try to put a shot into him. None of these go in. And you're going to notice this is where I start to get a bit more aggressive. So the reason I can get away with being aggressive after I put this shot into the Black Prince's side, I think he might actually get a pen into me. He doesn't. He was side scraping well. The reason I can start to be aggressive is because no one's farming me from their base. You can see the only people I'm engaging right now are the Black Prince and the 45 TP, and there's literally no one sniping me in where a TD should be. And so to take advantage of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push in as we get control of the cap circle, and as a Type 58 kind of pushes in to create a crossfire with these players. So this is a decent play. It's very aggressive, but it works out. We've got a Type 58 behind us. He can help out if we need it. We've got a 41D who's not in a position to put us in a crossfire anymore. And we've got 2 tier 7 heavies in front of us, and we're effectively a tier 8 heavy. So really strong position as far as I'm concerned. We even get shots on the M41D who's running. So put a very easy shot into the side or the rear of that guy, and now we've only got this BP and the 45 TP in front of us, and this is where we can start focusing down the Black Prince and just trying to get him out of the game. Now, that one bounced. I don't know if I would shoot more gold if I was in this situation again. You can see the Black Prince is doing very well, and to pen this guy, I have to expose myself to the 45 TP. So if the 45 is reloading, you know, I'll trade 240 for 150 with the Black Prince all day, but I'm not really interested in getting shot twice. These are still 2 tanks. They have very high DPM combined, so I do have to be careful. 45 TP puts one into the side of my turret because I wasn't careful enough. We're going to put one into the Black Prince. He gets shot to us. He was shooting pure gold in that situation, and now we've just got a 45 TP in front of us. We've got 1 tank on cap, and this is where their support starts to arrive. So you can see there's an Achilles who arrives really late, and I'm going to point out the way I engage this guy. So he just shot me. We know where he is at this point. Now, normally in situations where you get blind fired by a tank destroyer, you want to shoot back at them because it forces them to deal with stuff. Now, on this map, we know that he's in this bush right here. Now, I knew this the second he shot me because he wasn't lit. Like, where else could he be? So what I'm doing is most people, when they blind fire, just basically pick the edge of the rock. They assume that the TD would be in the best possible position. Now, in my experience, and it's not infallible, but it's pretty decent, most TD players don't play cover. They sit in the middle of fucking bushes, and, you know, that's why they're so hard to blind fire. When you're shooting at a TD, they're often in the middle of the bushes. That's why you can't, like, shoot here, even though that's what a good player would be doing. So the plan here would be to kind of let the guy shoot me once or twice. He's not penning me, and he's got a high rate of fire gun, and if I let him shoot me, I can get a really good feel of where he is. So normally that's what I would do, but in this situation you can see I look for a shot on the 45 TP and I don't find him, so I just put a shot into the bush and that hits him. Like, it's kind of went to the left of where I was aiming, but most TD players don't use cover. I'm sure it hit him, and you know, now that we're reloaded and the 45 TP gives me a shot, it's an easy shot into him. Now here a KV2 appears, and this is where I would say I made the first major mistake of this game. What I'm doing, and this is important, if you're ever engaging someone with HE and high caliber, you need to be aware of where your engine, like where they can overmatch you. This KV2, he shoots very well. He does a really good job of engaging me here. And what I'm doing, and what I decide to do is I decide to side scrape to engage him. Now, as I side scrape, what's happening is I'm giving him my engine deck, and watch exactly where he hits me. He ends up hitting me right here. Now, I got very lucky that that didn't kill me. In most situations, if you're engaging someone who's shooting HE, just show them your frontal armor in the Super Pershing. It's way more intelligent because he got a shot into my thinly armored engine deck as opposed to hitting me in the front where he would have done very little with the spaced armor there. So that's a tip. That was my first major armor usage mistake. Because I wasn't engaging anyone and I'm a one-shot to this 45 TP, what did I just put a blind shot to the Achilles. I assume that hit again, and then a Sire WT hits me. So there's literally 4 tanks in front of me, and this KV2 can just shoot next to me and kill me. Now that's a mistake on his part. I think he should have just shot next to me and killed me, but because he drove into the open, I was able to get a really easy shot into his like upper front plate right there, and now we've got a 45 TP YOLOing me because I'm down to 18 HP. Now, this player here, you can't fault me for his mistake here. He should have just driven past me and killed me. Luckily, he didn't. And what's going to happen here is he's got the capacity to shoot me twice. He bounces one shot. I managed to track him, and we end up finishing him off. So I got very lucky that he bounced. But what I expect to happen, because this guy just died... Okay, look at the situation of the game. There's 18 seconds left on cap. Both their heavies pushed in. Their TDs, like their Achilles and their Stayer WT, who shot at me, don't really have much to shoot at because I'm camping, and there's literally 15 seconds left in this game. So I expect at least one, if not both of them, to push in. And if I were them, I would push in using these houses for cover. They're TD players, like they're not going to be very brave. So what I'm doing is I'm looking here because I'm like, okay, if someone gets lit, they'll be lit in that area. And you can see an Achilles is coming right in this, like this lane. So I was right on with my prediction right there. We put a shot into him, very luckily at high rolls. There's a P43 who dropped down behind us to try to get a reset. Luckily he doesn't, and we actually managed to win that one. Now because I want more damage, and I do spot the Star WT, I'm going to put one more shot into him before the game ends, but we do manage to win it. And yeah, that was the strategy behind this. Let's go take a look at the end plates and we'll go from there. All right, now I'm not the type of person to spend a bunch of time looking over end plates, but if you're interested, here they are. I did 4,415 damage. Most of the damage came to the blind damage was the Achilles. I hit him twice for 526 total, and I must have hit the Steyr WT blind once as well, because, you know, I basically only hit the Achilles twice as far as I'm concerned. If I had hit him blind twice, I would have hit him 3 times. Now, I got a Mark of Excellence for this game. I also got a Mastery Badge and then a bunch of like smaller medals. I just don't really know what these are. This one is a Spartan, so that's for blocking all the shots that I did. We also got a Steel Wall, High Caliber, and so on. That game put us on first place by the team. We did 4 times more damage than anyone else on the team, which is an absolutely amazing result, even for, like, that's insane. 1332 base XP, 4 kills. We ended up blocking 1860 HP with our armor. Fired 27 shots, 20 of them hit. The Black Prince did a really good job of blocking my shots. He survived a very long time. I basically gave him 1200 damage blocked, which is kind of ridiculous. We ended up profiting 137,000 credits with that game. 38,000 credits were from battle payments, because I'm in a clan, we get 50% credit boosters, and that was a 168k credit game. So, as far as I'm concerned, that was a phenomenal game. If you liked this video and you want to see more, be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I hope to see you around. Later, guys. Bye-bye.